If I say the air you inhale travel from your nose to further different tubes, crosses filters, reaches blood, and then supplies to all cell, and then used air expel out the same way, then there's no doubt this process making you live. Hello and welcome, my viewers, learning respiratory system today. Our nostrils, the filtering machine, helps us to clear the upcoming air. It contain hair called cilia, and beneath these hair, a layer of mucus, also present to trap the dust and other microorganisms filtered by the cilia. There's not only purification happens, but last not the least, it also makes the upcoming air warmer by the help of blood vessels present inside the first lining of the nostrils. That air entering also get moist by the nostrils, so that when it travel deep inside lungs and other tubes, it doesn't harm these delicate organs. From the nostrils, the air moves into the nasopharynx, which is the upper part of our throat, right behind our nose. It's a cross bridge which not only passes air, but also food passes from it and found behind mouth. The air then travel down into two passageway, the pharynx. It's a muscular tube that passes not only air but also food, and it present beneath that nasopharynx. It's stupefying that our pharynx is performing dual function and not getting us in any kind of trouble during breathing or swallowing. The pharynx has three parts: the nasopharynx we just mentioned, the oropharynx in the middle, and the laryngopharynx at the bottom. Next in the line is the larynx, the voice box, a place that makes us speak, makes our own sound. There's a pair of muscles called vocal cords. When we speak, sing, or even hum, these pair contract, bringing the vocal cords together. So when air rushes from this pair, they vibrate, create sounds via creating sound waves. And the pitch, that is, how low or high the sound is, controlled by how tight and how long these cords are. Larynx not only creates sound, but it prevents entering of food into trachea. By a special flap of cartilage called the epiglottis, above the larynx, like a lid. When we swallow, the epiglottis flips down to cover the opening of the larynx, ensuring food goes down from trachea to stomach via esophagus, not down to our lungs. Now air actually will travel toward the tubes of lungs called trachea, the windpipe of a body. We can actually feel it in the front of our neck. It's a sturdy tube reinforced with 16 C-shaped rings of cartilage. These C-shaped rings are highly important because they keep the trachea open, preventing the collapse of trachea, ensuring a clear and protected pathway for air to travel to our lungs. The inside of the trachea is also lined with cilia and mucus, continuing the job of cleaning the air we breathe, pushing trapped debris back up and out. Now, that trachea on entering the lungs divides into two. That division leads to the left and right bronchi. Each bronchus enters one of our lung. The right bronchus is a bit wider and more vertical than the left one, which is why if you accidentally inhale a small object, it's more likely to end up in the right lung. After reaching concerned lung, each bronchus divides and redivides up to size of 1 millimeter called bronchiole. They don't have cartilage like the trachea and bronchi. Instead, their walls are made of smooth muscle. This muscle allows them to constrict or dilate, controlling how much air reaches the deepest parts of the lungs. At the very end of the tiniest bronchioles, we find what we've been traveling towards, the alveolar sacs. These are clusters of tiny balloon-like structures resembling a bunch of grapes. Each individual grape in the cluster is called an alveolus, and this is where the main event happens. Your lungs contain hundreds of millions of these alveoli. Their walls are incredibly thin, just one cell thick, and they are surrounded by a dense network of tiny blood vessels called capillaries. This is the critical point of gas exchange. Here, the oxygen we've inhaled passes through the thin walls of the alveoli and into the red blood cells waiting in the capillaries. At the exact same time, the waste product from our body's cells, carbon dioxide, travels from the blood back into the alveoli. Then, when we exhale, we breathe out this carbon dioxide. This entire exchange process is occurred by diffusion. It's this exchange that fuels every cell in our body, providing the oxygen needed for energy and life itself. The lungs are the primary organs of the respiratory system, housing this entire network of bronchi, bronchioles, and alveoli. They are soft, spongy, and protected by our rib cage. The right lung is slightly larger and has 3 lobes, while the left lung has 2 lobes to make space for our heart. Breathing itself is powered by a large dome-shaped muscle at the base of the lungs called the diaphragm. When we inhale, the diaphragm contracts and moves down, creating more space in our chest cavity and pulling air into our lungs. When we exhale, it relaxes, pushing the air back out. If you learned something new, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the wonders of the human body. Let me know in the comments what system you want to explore next. Until then, breathe easy and stay curious. Bye for now. Signing off, Usama Hafiz.